Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be diving into EGLD and the 𝗕𝗏𝗀 protocol to see exactly what's been going on most recently with the price action of EGLD. As we get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit that like button, I really do appreciate it. If you happen to be new, why not subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, let's dive into this brief technical analysis on EGLD. We're going to skip the weekly chart, guys, and we're going to dive right down into this daily, and we're going to be talking about what's been going on most recently and what our expectations are in the shorter time frames and of course those longer time frames too. Now we can see that we have had a good surge up to the upside here with an all-time high previously set at $246 before we went down, slipping into this lower area here where we bottomed out at about $53. A fantastic opportunity to buy up that dip ahead of setting a new all-time high. That new all-time high came in, let me just check, at 303. Okay, so $303. Then from there, we basically did slip back down, slipping into the key areas that we were battling through previously. This is the 618, 702, and 786 of the Fibonacci retracement. Right now, we are bouncing right on top of that 786, and we're going to talk about whether or not we are looking to lose this support of the 786, $204, or whether or not that's going to hold and see a bounce to the upside. Now, from here, we can, of course, see the stochastic RSI is held down there in the oversold area, but it could still pull back a little bit, and that is definitely something that we should be concerned with on the smaller time frames. There is, of course, a good push to the upside, and our expectations for 𝗕𝗏𝗀 and EGLD is to push up into that $800 range. This actually puts the 4.236 extension at $869, a 328% move from the current position. And this is based on the previous performance, the big wave that we moved up to the upside, and setting that all-time high at 246, the pullback that we saw taking us down to $53, and that correction actually sees this thing with the 4.236 extension coming in at $869. So a 328% move from the current price. But do we expect ourselves to fall down a little bit lower ahead of this push? I think that we're going to be expecting some more volatility, and we've been talking about this for a while on the channel. We kind of expect the volatility to kind of hopefully peter out as we enter into October, so probably a couple of weeks or so, and we hopefully should start to see this thing really play out to the upside. But I am expecting maybe a smaller pullback or another pullback to kind of occur before we do get that launch to the upside. Now, overall, there is a cup and handle saucer kind of, or cup and handle kind of forming here, a good pattern, and what we're looking to do is basically finish off this handle and then see this thing move to the upside. Now, for 𝗕𝗏𝗀, we can of course use our charts here and our Fibonacci retracement tool to help us understand how high we are likely to push up during this cup and handle. Now, this actually does see us moving up in October to around that $456 range. Okay, so that's going to be the target. I'm going to quickly mark that up just up here with a horizontal rate. So I'm going to pop that on the line there. So we have a good target that we're aiming towards, okay? So with the cup and handle, if we do finish this pattern off and it does actually start to push up in October, probably halfway through, I'm looking to try to reach this 1.618 area on that pattern, that would put us at $256. So I've just marked that up there. That's our kind of area that we want to be looking out for if we do complete this cup and handle, right? So good pattern forming there. But obviously, in order to complete that and to see that $455, we should be expecting a pullback. I'm looking for some key areas on the chart to try to find a good bounce from. So I think that we want to be reviewing some of these main fib areas that we've been talking about previously, you know, the 618, the 702, but there's also the possibility of pulling right the way back down to those lower areas as well, such as $149. So from the current position, dropping down to $149 would basically complete that handle and allow us then to continue that growth to the upside overall. So everything's looking pretty good on the kind of larger time frames, but we have to obviously acknowledge that in order to see these pushes to the upside, first of all, we do need to see those corrections as well. Okay, they go hand in hand together. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump on down, and we're going to take a look at what is going on here on the smaller time frames, okay? Because this is where we see a lot of that volatility, right? We're talking about all these kind of different trend lines that we're forming, where we are losing trends and gaining new trends, etc. Right now, obviously, there are several areas that we want to be paying attention to, right? So we are, of course, slipping into this downward trend here. It's quite an obvious one to kind of see. And again, we can, of course, draw these upward trend lines as well, right? So we're right on this trend as at the moment, right? So we can see this really started back at the early end of September. We retapped this area on the 6 618 area of the Fibonacci retracement tool. Let me just pull that across just here. And that was on the 21st of September, really testing that upper bound. As we can see, we're getting wedged into this triangular wedge here. So this is really forming out. It looks like this should kind of complete itself probably around the early areas of October. But obviously, I think we're going to invalidate the downward trend as we see a correction. Now, I do anticipate that we're going to push up a little bit as we try to go above the $217 range. My expectations are that we're going to push up probably back to 230 or so, and then we might actually lose this area altogether. Looking to see if we can find some areas of support on that journey to the downside, but I am expecting that Bitcoin's going to be quite volatile in those last moments of September, early October, before it goes ahead and actually pushes these parabolic runs to the upside overall. So right now, as we do have these triangular wedges, it's important that we acknowledge that ultimately these trend lines are the easiest thing to draw, and as such they are the easiest things to invalidate. For me, the cup and handle's a relatively good pattern. We also have to use this in conjunction with many other theories in the space. Okay, so right now there is a triangle forming here. We obviously have to acknowledge that. But the expectations will be on the smaller time frame here, pushing up, again taking this motion to the upside, finding this area, and then potentially pulling back down, completing that cup and handle, and then seeing this thing go after that $456 range that we spoke about on the daily, right? So although this pattern has some merit to it, we have to also acknowledge that the market sentiment isn't quite where it needs to be, and this is actually a part of a bit of a correction, a corrective move overall. So we are obviously just paying attention to that. In terms of what's going on here with eGold on the smaller time frames. So overall though, guys, I am bullish long term. Okay, so if we ever in doubt, we do zoom out, we pay attention to what is going on with our daily, with our weekly chart. Overall, things are looking pretty interesting with the cup and handle. Again, looking for the completion of that handle, then taking us up to that 460 or $456, I should say. And again, that'll be the progress of when we start to see a pullback from there, heading up towards these higher areas of the $869 range. Okay, so eGold has some serious potential. It does definitely a newcomer in the space, but has some pretty good competition, and I do think it's going to be one of the front winners that we want to be paying attention to long term as well. So overall, everything's looking pretty good, and the patterns here are again aligned to our thinking, and we just need to see this pullback, this completion of the correction. This will happen probably over the next few weeks, and then from there we should be off to new all-time highs. So we obviously have bared quite a bit of a burden most recently for the month of September, but we are almost there, guys. Stick with it, and we should start to see some pretty good moves in the very near future. Now I'm going to leave that one there. Keep it nice and brief, guys. Hopefully you have found this video useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new, why not subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.